welcome back, everybody. It is the Press Start Podcast, and it's been about 2 weeks since the last one. Not really. It's funny, like I started up the Press Start Podcast, and something always happens the next week where I can't record something. It happened way back in January, and I didn't record any more of it for months. And then a few weeks ago, when my laptop, I needed to get it repaired, and I didn't have it for a few weeks, so that's why I missed a few weeks. And there was some newsworthy stuff that happened, but I'm not gonna recap all of that. I'm just kind of gonna stick with this week, because otherwise it'd be too long and too much work. But I'm back, and it is the week of May 31st through the 6th. Yeah, so it was a pretty big week. There wasn't like a whole bunch of news, but the news that was announced was big. And you all know what the biggest news of the week was, but I'm going to save that for last because it's the best news. But I'm going to start out with something that happened, I guess, over the weekend, or last weekend. There was rumors that that Microsoft was going to buy Silent Hills from Konami for like $1 billion, which is ridiculous, especially for that series. Since what franchise sold? I think it was like Disney sold for like, no wait, No, it was Star Wars sold for like 4.4 billion or something to Disney. I think game-wise, there's one franchise that sold more. I can't remember which one. But yeah, that was ridiculous. And later on, Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, responded on Twitter saying the rumors were false. And there was nothing to them. Which makes sense since it seemed like they're overpaying for it. And Silent Hills, or I guess PT, was never on Xbox One. Just didn't seem like it was adding up, but if it didn't turn out to be real, I think it would have been pretty good get for Microsoft for a lower price tag than $1 billion, but just thought that was weird. People really want that Silent Hills, so do I. I was really excited to see that game because I thought it had a whole bunch of potential, and PT was, you know, really scary. But yeah. So, next up, I don't have my usual pages because I just am really lazy today. But yeah, next up, on Monday, it was revealed that XCOM 2 was announced. It was revealed to be announced, and it was PC only. A little bit surprising since XCOM Enemy Unknown, which was the last one from like 2012, 2011, I think it's 2012, came out on consoles as well. But XCOM, I really wanted to play Enemy Unknown, and I actually got it. I think somebody gave me it for free. And my PC couldn't run it for some reason. Like, it would always crash. So I never did play it, but I did like what I saw from that game. And it's cool that we're getting a sequel. Will I play it? Probably someday, but not at launch, because my computer will just crash again. But it's cool that we're getting another one of those games. Yeah, I mean, I really love the idea of those games, like the strategy in them and the permadeath kind of aspect to it, and just how it's like it's a really cool setting, real cool. I just think they're cool games, even though I've never really played them. I've played like 5 minutes of them, but they seem really cool, and I've watched some videos of people playing them. I'm glad that was announced. Good for whoever's excited for that, and good for 2K and Firaxis. I forget who develops it, cause that's cool. It's a bunch of coolness. Cool. Next up, I don't think there's actually anything here. I had to find what was next up. I'm kind of skimming it down this week because I just feel like it. No, that's not worth mentioning. This was kind of interesting news and kind of came out of nowhere, but Steam is now offering refunds on games for basically any reason. So you can get refunds on digital games, which is, I don't think anybody's doing that. I may be wrong. I mean, unless something's wrong with the game and the developer's like, yeah, you can get your money back. Usually nobody is doing that. So that's, I do like that. Because there's been many games that I picked up on Steam and I'm like, oh, I don't really want this anymore. But there's a catch. It has to be within 14 days of your purchase and under 2 hours of you actually playing the game. So if you play the game for more than 2 hours, you can't return it or get your refund. And if you wait more than 14 days, you can't get your refund. Which makes sense. I think 2 hours, in some ways, maybe a little bit not enough time, but in some ways, it makes sense. Because you can typically figure out if you're gonna like a game within like the first hour, unless it's unless it's a game like a long RPG or something that kind of like takes a while to get going. But I think it's cool. I hope more companies kind of bring this in. I hope like Sony and Xbox kind of adopt this as well. I don't think they will anytime soon, but hopefully at some point they do. That's kind of interesting news that came out of left field. So I expected that. But next up, we have, I don't think there's anything else on this page. So for that, which I'm not going to talk about yet, it's actually a fairly decent week for like game announcements because it's about a week give or take until E3. So a lot of people are kind of just letting information out. Stuff is leaking. There's been reports that Dark Souls 3 is going to be announced. I kind of hope they don't. I kind of want them to wait a bit for another Dark Souls game. Like just never until like 2017. So yeah, I kind of want them to wait a bit, but if they announce it, I won't be upset. But that wasn't part of my news I want to talk about. It was just something that I remembered. Where is it? I guess I could talk about that. Batman, if you pre-order it, is 45 gigs. Which is not the most, but it's still a lot. It takes a while to download. I'm probably gonna just pick it up from GameStop. Cause I got The Witcher 3 digitally. I think I got in my last few games digitally, so I kind of want to pick this up because I don't really want to download it. But yeah, just how big games are now. It takes forever to download, especially if you don't have the best internet like me. It can take days. But yeah, next bit of news. A new, or I guess there's two things in this story, but Black Tusk Studios, which is Microsoft's first-party studio that is now developing a new Gears of War game, changed their name to the Coalition, because it has something to do with Gears of War. Which I thought Black Tusk was a pretty cool name for a studio, but if you're just gonna be making Gears games, then I guess that makes sense. And they also teased that the new Gears of War may be at E3, which is interesting because I kind of expected them to take one more year off from talking about it, because I think they just started working on it like a year and a half ago or something, like not long. So it's still pretty early in development. But yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see what a next-gen Gears of War game is like, because I don't really know where they could go. I've never played any games, but I kind of know what they're about. I don't know. I have no idea what a next-gen Gears of War game would be. I know it's going to be a game that looks really good, but I don't know how it's going to play. Because if they just do what Gears of War typically is like, then, as you know, kind of your typical third-person cover shooter, I don't think it's going to be all that successful, because people are already bored with that kind of gameplay. So we need to change something up, but I'm not sure what they could do. I'm not a game developer, so so yeah, so that is some more news there. And then I think there's one other thing I want to mention before the big news, the big news, and it's, I think it is, or there's actually two things. Yeah, two things. One is, today they announced the Nathan Drake collection for PS4, and it includes all three of the Uncharted games, 1, 2, and 3, in 1080p, 60 frames per second. I don't know if it means up, like actually upping, like, you know, kind of the graphics by, you know what I mean, by like giving it like the Master Chief Collection kind of treatment, but I don't think that's what we're doing. I think we're just kind of like, yeah, here's the games, they're 1080p now, 60 frames, enjoy. So I don't think they're changing much, which kind of sucks. But you get beta access if you pre-order the game. You get beta access for Uncharted 4's multiplayer, which is probably going to draw some people in. I'm tempted to pick this up because I haven't played any of the Uncharted games, but I need them to do a little bit more with the games rather than 1080p and 60 frames. I hope they do. I just want to see what it looks like, see how much better it looks. If they changed any of the gameplay stuff. I don't know if I'm going to get it. We'll see. But I think it's something people knew was going to come to Uncharted collection, basically. And hopefully we get a Mass Effect remastered collection. And maybe Assassin's Creed 2 remastered. I would like that. And then lastly, before the big news, Steam. The Steam machines are available for pre-order. And if you're not familiar, Steam machines are like They're basically console PCs that use the Steam OS, and some are stronger than the current consoles, but they cost more, and some are not as strong, but they cost less. I don't know who this is for, really, because if I want to play a console, if I want to play, how do I want to put this? If I want to play like something on my PC, then I'd rather just have my like a mouse and keyboard and stuff like that, and play on a PC rather than use the weird Steam controller and play it like a console game where I could just play a console game. Like, I don't know. I'm sure we're gonna sell some, but I don't think it's gonna be that successful. But we'll have to see. So that is it for the news. There's nothing else to talk about, so let's move on to the second segment. Oh no, wait, there was one other thing I forgot to mention. This little game called Fallout 4 was officially revealed early in the week. It's something about like a post-apocalyptic game. I don't know how they already made, like, it was the fourth game apparently. I don't know who bought the other 3 games, but yeah, I don't know why everybody's so excited about this game. Yeah, is this some indie developer or something? But seriously, Fallout 4 was announced. I'm extremely excited. It's one of those big games everybody's been hoping to get for years now, and we finally got it. We know it's real. Yeah, I'm super excited. They showed off like kind of a in-engine gameplay sort of trailer, and I liked what I saw. I'm very interested. Like, before they even announced this, I wasn't sure what like kind of a next-gen Fallout would be like. Like, I didn't know what they could add to a Fallout game. Like, I was thinking, like, maybe they would add vehicles or something. Or, like, I seriously did not, like, know what they could change up. And still, you don't really know. But you kind of get an idea just from the trailer. But it's still Fallout, but there's going to be some changes, which I think, you know, you need to change some things up. But it's still Fallout overall, and that's great. I'm super. It's like my most anticipated game, like automatically now that Zelda Wii U is delayed. Like Zelda is the only one who could top Fallout 4 for my excitement, and even that may be a competition. But Bethesda said that you can expect more information at E3 at their press conference on next Sunday, June 14th. So they're probably going to show off some they're going to show off some gameplay. And I expect it to be a good chunk. I'm interested. That chunk that we see at E3 is probably the only chunk I'm actually going to watch for gameplay, because once I see that, and odds are majorly how am I going to say this? Odds are definitely going to be that I'm going to like what I see, because it's Fallout, and I love Fallout, and Todd Howard, who's the lead on that on the Fallout games, and you know, stuff like Skyrim. They usually turn out pretty good games. So I'm pretty confident in this. So once we kind of get like the 15, maybe 20-minute like gameplay showcase at E3, I probably won't watch any more gameplay because I love just being completely blind to what is in Fallout. Like when I first played Fallout 3, I knew I knew nothing about the game, and that was great. And then when I played Fallout New Vegas, I knew a little bit, but I still was pretty blind, and it was great. So I'm pretty much gonna go dark after E3 with that game, because I do expect it to come out this year. Because typically, whenever Bethesda announces like a Fallout Skyrim game, it comes sooner than you think. And there's already hints that it's gonna be coming out this year. I think it hinted at October or November, so it makes sense. And I really hope it does come out this year. And I also kind of hope, I kind of hope that other games don't come out this year then. Because that will be my main focus for a while. But yeah, I'm excited. I want to see what the game looks like at E3, and then just wait for the game, because I'm going to get it. I don't even if the E3 showcase is kind of like, I don't know, I'll probably still get it, but I really doubt it's gonna be like that. So yeah, I'm very excited. That's one of those games that everybody's been wanting. Now, basically, all we have is Half-Life 3 needs to be revealed at some point. Because we've gotten Kingdom Hearts 3, we've gotten Persona 5, we've gotten Fallout 4. I mean, we keep getting the games we want, except for Half-Life 3. Odds are we'll not see it at E3 this year, but one day. One day. I'm yawning a whole bunch right now. I don't know why. But yeah, so that's the big news of the week, Fallout. Super, super excited. I'm going to try to hold off on playing any Fallout games until that comes out. But I'm kind of already in the mood to play one, just from watching the trailer. Yeah, I'm super pumped. I even bought a Fallout 4 shirt. That's how excited I was. I won't get the shirt until July, but I'm excited. So yeah. So second segment. I don't know what I'm gonna talk about yet. I kind of do, but then I also want to do an E3 predictions segment. But I could wait until next week. I think next week's podcast, I probably won't go over the news. I'll probably just make it an E3 predictions show. It'll probably be earlier in the week. Probably like Tuesday or Wednesday. I may go over news if something big gets announced, like Half-Life 3. But I doubt, too much or anything too big will be announced or revealed. So I'll wait until next week for my E3 predictions. And plus I need to write them up first, because I don't have any predictions ready. So second segment, I think I'm going to talk about a game that came out recently, where I'm basically going to recap what I've already uploaded with a video, but you'll see in the second segment. So I will see you guys in a second. Alright, welcome back everybody. This is the second segment. I don't even know what it's called. It's just called the second segment. Why do I do segments? Because I like to put music in. Because, I don't know. But this segment, I'm going to talk about a little game that came out recently in May. The Witcher 3. And unfortunately, I couldn't talk about it when it first released because I didn't have my recording stuff. But I got time to talk about it now. I did upload a video today, actually. Got kind of like a 38-minute of me just kind of talking about what I liked about the game and showing off just a little bit of combat, not much, and a little bit of monster hunting, and a little bit of side quests. Yeah, if you want to see just actual gameplay and me talk about the game, check that out. But yeah, so Witcher 3 is one of my favorite games of the year. Actually, it's my favorite game of the year. You know, I was always excited for this game, but I always had kind of some doubt in my mind that it wouldn't hold up to kind of the hype it was building, but it did. And the game's just fantastic. It has some of the best like side quests and like side content to a degree. But the side quests in the game are just really good. You know, some of them are like really good. But I wouldn't say any of them are really great. But none of them are really. None of them are below. Or none of them are even average. Or I guess none of them are below average. It goes from average to really good. There's no bad quest in my opinion. Which is hard to say, because usually there's like a few quests that are like, I don't even want to do this, but I've done a lot of side quests, a lot of Witcher contracts. I've done a lot of that, and all of them, like I enjoyed doing, because you ever get rewarded with cool loot or rewarded with kind of a good story, or a good side story basically. There's stuff like a side quest where you go out to hunt a beast and he turns out to be a werewolf, and then you learn that there's like a love triangle with like this this guy and his wife, and the wife's sister all like are stuck in this love triangle, and it's just really cool and interesting. And then you have kind of like a side quest where basically you help out somebody and you investigate this tower where you see all these phantoms, and you kind of get this story of what went on in this tower, because it's kind of creepy. There's a bunch of rats, and at the top of the tower you meet a phantom who can actually speak with you, and she's like, "Oh, I'm stuck here, help me meet my lost lover, and I'll take away the curse from this place," or whatever. Or I think she's cursed, so you need to try to get rid of the curse. And so you take her to her lover, and I guess spoilers, if you don't want to hear anything, just close your ears for like 10 seconds. But this is what happened to me. I took her to her lover, and then he was supposed to bury her to get rid of the curse, but then she ended up being like some kind of wraith, and she killed him, and she flew away. So I'm like, oh wow, I just killed that guy. And I didn't even free the curse. So it was kind of like a lose-lose situation, but it's still really cool. And then there's still stuff like you meet another Witcher and you kind of help him out with something. There's tons of really cool quests, and the monster hunting is really good. Before I get to the monster hunting, like, I love how there's no like black and white in this game. It's kind of like always gray. Because there's so many choices that I've made in the game, but I'm just like, I don't know if any of these are good, and I don't know which one I should choose. It's really just choosing between just like a really bad choice and a lesser bad choice. Yeah, so like, I mean, there's a main story choice that you can make, and I guess I chose the right one, but I didn't really feel like I did, because it either involves you releasing an evil spirit, or you just kill a bunch of orphans. So yeah, a big win-win decision right there. So I just love how great a game is, because you run up to a person and it may be a really good person, or it may be such a douchebag, but you help them out anyways. I remember, yeah, another like side quest that happened. Just like I wandered on a road and I saved this guy from a bunch of I think from a bunch of villagers, and then I met up with him later on, and he was just killing people. Like I think he was just killing a bunch of like poor peasants and stuff with his gang of people and just rummaging through their stuff. And he's like, "Oh, how's it going? Here's some money for helping me out back." And I'm like, "What are you doing, dude? I saved you. You're killing all these people." So yeah, it just shows you like you can't trust anybody. The monster stuff's really cool. I love hunting down the monsters. Even though the hunting down part's pretty repetitive, but I think it's still rewarding because each monster is a little bit different, even though they're kind of the same. Like there's like a cockatrice, a griffin, and there's another one, but those three things are basically the same enemy, but they're all different. They all have just slight tweaks that make them different, which makes each of those fights different. And it's really cool. Like I haven't fought a monster that has felt like the same as another monster for the most part, because there's slight differences in the side quests that adds some. It's like it's either like a story element that changes it up, or like or the monster has a different ability than another one you might have fought. It's just really good. And I really enjoyed just going out and doing those quests. The world is freaking huge. There's like 3 huge maps that each one could basically be an open world. And there's so much to do. There's so many question marks on my map that it's overwhelming. Yeah, you can spend a lot of time in this game, a lot of time. But the exploration's cool. The world's gorgeous at times, and very dark at times. And the game looks great. Main story is I said in my video that I thought it was okay. But then yesterday I played like 5 hours of the main story, and it was like the kind of big stuff happened, and I would say the story is actually pretty good, because once you get to a certain point where you actually meet Ciri, things start to happen, and it's really interesting and entertaining. So yeah, the story is good. I really love the characters. Geralt's really cool. He's just a badass, cool person. I think that's his title, actually. He's the Witcher badass cool person. Ciri, I really like a lot. You know, Triss, Yennefer, they're all cool. There's a lot of great characters. And that's what kind of makes the story great. The characters kind of hold it together. But yeah, story is it's worth going through, in my opinion. And you'll enjoy it. And then lastly, gameplay. I mean, the combat is solid. I mean, it's enjoyable. It can be difficult at times, but once you kind of grasp it and kind of understand what to use with your signs and stuff like that, it can be satisfying. Especially when you're fighting a monster and you do some well-timed dodges and you kind of strategize correctly, use the right sign. It's fun. And then getting new weapons and armor is always cool. Yeah, I mean, it's basic RPG stuff, if you know what that is. Just running around, doing quests, beating up stuff, running around, exploring. And then the game does, pretty good job of all of that. The gameplay is pretty good, but it's kind of the story and the side quests and the main story that really makes the game shine. Oh yeah, that should wrap it up. I went a little bit more in depth in my actual video where I got sidetracked multiple times. And I slid down a mountain. That was cool. Like, I slid down a mountain. Go check it out. It happens like within the first 10 minutes of the video. It was pretty cool. Check it out. But yeah, The Witcher 3, my favorite game of the year so far. It's my game of the year. It edges out Bloodborne slightly. It's one of the best RPGs I've played in a while. I'd put it up there with Skyrim and Dark Souls 2. I would say it's probably not. It's not above Skyrim for me because that's a special game, in my opinion. Like, for as much time as I've put into Witcher, which is about 50 hours now. I've put in like at least 200 hours into Skyrim. So yeah, and then Dark Souls 2. I don't know if I think I still like Dark Souls 2 slightly more than The Witcher, but it's close. So like I said, Witcher 3 is one of the best RPGs I've played in a while. And if you like RPGs, you should have already gotten it, first of all. But if you haven't picked it up, pick it up. It's worth it, no doubt about it. You'll spend tons of hours doing stuff, and you'll have a lot of fun. And I'm calling this year 2015 the year to RPG because I've played a whole bunch of RPGs already this year. Like, I think 95% of my time has gone into RPGs this year, with like Persona 3, Persona 4 Golden, which I still need to finish, and I will. Bloodborne, I've put a whole bunch of hours into that, and Witcher 3, I put a whole bunch of hours into that. So I've put a lot of time into RPGs, and it's not even close to being over with. Like, games like Persona 5 is supposed to come out this year. You know, Xenoblade Chronicles X is coming out this year. Fallout 4 maybe coming out this year. I know there's a few other RPGs are coming out that I'm forgetting. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, there's more coming out, but I can't remember. But there's a whole bunch of really good ones that are coming out this year, and I'm probably gonna spend a lot of time in them. But Witcher 3 is probably gonna be ranked up there with the best of the year, no doubt about it. But yeah, that's it for my Witcher 3 talk. It's definitely worth getting. You should buy it. And it's like a 9.5 game for me, so it's really good. But I'm starting to lose my voice, and I'm tired. So I'm gonna wrap it up. It's a little bit shorter than my last part, but it's still longer than I thought I'd actually go. But next week will be kind of the E3 special predictions, and then the following week, I think there's gonna be multiple episodes. I think I'm basically gonna just not have a podcast episode and just kind of have multiple videos talking about each conference. So yeah, so after E3 is gonna be big, and next week I'll have my predictions. So check that out. Hopefully I can get this video up, I guess today now, since it's 12:27 a.m. Hopefully sometime up today, Friday. If not, it should be up by Saturday. But briefly, I want to thank you guys for watching the Press Start podcast, and I'll see you guys next week, where the E3 excitement will be in full gear. Actually, it'll be like almost full gear. Almost full gear. We'll be going about 70 on a 65 mile per hour highway or freeway. And then Journey Freeway, we'll be going about 120. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week.